Hi, Shelley.
Hi, Dennison. How are you doing?
Oh, actually, I'm good
Good.
because I've chosen to take a lot of L's and stack them, and if they come in pairs, I could turn them into W's.
I like that.
That's my mantra. That's what I tell myself as I cry myself to sleep. No, honestly, I'm loving the Austin thing. I'm getting selling in the apartment. I'm feeling like this is a good moment. The transition's been real though.
Mm-hmm.
And
How so?
it's been really difficult to admit the weirdness that's been going on in the family, like, family friend dynamics and all that.
Mm-hmm.
They say if you ever really want to know who your real friends are, start a business.
Oh, yeah.
That's
So that's what's been.
yeah. And how you go through that lesson is probably different for everyone, but I'd imagine there's a lot of similarities. But my case has been where I've noticed that the closest people to me, as I was a young lad, were possibly contributed to a mental state that didn't help me later in life. I'll say it that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to output any accountability because, not my fault, my responsibility. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But it's nice to have some clarity on a couple of things. So I wanted to show you this clip that came out because it just spoke to me and I thought you'd understand. What do you think?
Yeah.
Ready? All right, check it out.
And what do they often do with those grandchildren? They keep tabs on you through them. It's also a way to bypass your boundaries. Who cares about your boundaries? These are my grandchildren, and I deserve access in their life because I'm their grandmother, I'm their grandfather. I don't care about your boundaries. That's what that's really saying when they become fixated on the grandchildren. But when you went no contact with a narcissistic parent, they become fixated on the grandchildren.
So, well, actually, I won't color anything about what you think. What do you think of our girl? What's her name? Zelina Chiro MSWLCSW. Got to check her out.
Zelina.
Zelina is amazing.
Yeah. She's absolutely right. Obviously, I think any way to control, because that's the ultimate goal of a narcissist, right? Is that control that they need to make, and when I say control, I use that word loosely because they really never really have it, but that's what they're fixated on, right? So when they do that, it is a gateway, a way for them to try to have that thread still connected. But yeah, how did that speak to you?
Well, the first thing I did was I had to say, I don't have any children, right? And I am the grandchild, and I don't think that was my situation. I was in the middle of it though. So I experienced a situation where I was projected to have jealousy towards my little nephew because my mother was, she had a new nephew, right? She had a new grandchild. But I saw that there was sort of like a play to sort of put our loves against each other, attention against each other a little bit. And my reaction was the eye roll, but I was like, wow, like this is it's like trying to plant a seed so that it could be used later. And so
Plant a seed where?
Like plant a seed in my reputation almost.
I see.
Like, oh, if Dennison is jealous of Cameron, therefore he's like some kind of thing he needs to be corrected. Or if I'm not saying this for you because I've been trying to unpack this.
Oh yeah. When you're dealing with a narcissistic parent, it's very difficult. Like those issues.
Yeah.
There always seems to be something.
Yeah, and it's hard. You know what it is? It's hard to talk about these things because it sounds like you might be kind of complaining or complaining about life. I'm not that kind of person, but because I'm a crazy pattern matcher, I see something like that, and I sent it. Like I said, I sent it to my sister because I wanted her to see the different styles of treatment that her kids got, my one sister got versus another. And I saw two different narcissistic patterns in the same family unit to do two different sub-family units from the same person.
Oh, so from the same person, different ways that they were treating the children of those families.
Yeah. So you see that
they were relating to each other.
Yeah. Okay. So
based upon those seeds that were planted.
Yeah. So I think that, well, one of my sisters wasn't really treated really nicely. Like I'm projecting, this is my assumption. I feel like she had that middle child sort of thing where it's like, oh, I'm the middle child, therefore the youngest is the loving everyone. He gets away with everything. I think that's it. and
So
the
let's
oldest
explain
is
the
the best,
dynamics.
right?
So there's
Yeah.
the older,
Yeah.
the middle, and you, so the sisters,
Yeah.
and then you, the youngest,
Yeah.
being the only boy.
Yeah. So I was the only boy, and that in itself is something I had to learn, that I was.
And half the
different.
women.
Yeah, I had to learn that. Oh, you acting like this is not the way you need to be raised. And my father was present, but not a masculine presence. I would say, like,
Mm-hmm.
So when I noticed this dynamic, when I started to see, and Zelinos came into my feed because I was dealing with this, and I swear that algorithm is listening and heard arguments that I had with my family, and like it's crazy how immediately I got some therapy coming into my feed when all this dynamic came in. So yes, the algorithm is listening, and hopefully you're dialing in your algorithm to help you out, because that was crazy. But anyway,
one way or another.
And so she pops up, and I see this, and I'm like, okay, it's not just me, first of all, thank goodness. But so the dynamic was that, one sister doesn't have a really great relationship with my mother. Her grandchildren were not in her life because of that. My mother's grandchildren were not in her life for a long time. And another sister had a set of children, and they are like the golden children. Like, she's going to meet them other places, and I think that's amazing. I think it's amazing. My mother's retired, and she do your thing, right? But I just,
and she has a good relationship with those children.
Yeah, for sure, and I think it's a beautiful thing. It's
and
like,
you've talked about that with your sister, whose children she's having a great relationship with.
No,
Interesting,
because I'm not close with that sister.
So the perception that you have is that the relationship is good, and the only reason that I say that is because I also have narcissism in my family as well. And the way that my stepmother treated her grandchildren, my sister's children, I never let them have contact with mine because I'm not doing it.
Because you knew.
I don't. You've already played me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not doing that to my kids. But the way that she treated her children was very, very manipulative. And on the outside, it looked like she was giving them things and doing things for them. But there was a guilt laden piece of that was gifted along with these wonderful things that she was doing on the outside to make sure that everyone looked at her as being this amazing grandparent. As long as she had the pictures that she could put on her bullshit Facebook page.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So if I'm a good parent,
is still using Facebook.
So it's like, you think it's like, if I'm a good grandparent, they're of course I was a good parent. What's your problem?
Yes.
Oh, cool.
So it can look, because truly a narcissist, if they really are a narcissist, the kindness comes with strings. It's never fully given. So I believe you that she's making it look like things are very nice on the outside, but I would be very careful to think that it is fully gifted with this unbountiful love.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, there's bountiful love, rather. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, yeah. But anyway, sorry.
No, not positive. In fact, you just made me think, is it a mask of guilt?
Probably a little bit of that for sure, because she's got to get something out of it. The narcissists have to get something out of this. And
does a narcissist feel guilty? Like,
Oh, no.
No? Really?
No, a true narcissist doesn't, because they really don't believe that they've done anything wrong. They believe that everything that they're doing is they have been wronged, and so they need to constantly keep that look up consistently.
Okay, tell me if this is my everything is good and roses heart coming out. Sometimes I feel like they're narcissists, but they also do have the guilt. It's just they don't have the maturity to admit, and they have to keep doubling down.
If they are true narcissists, like genuine true narcissists, they will not feel that guilt.
So
because that's their behavior changes. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If you truly feel guilty, if you feel that, you're not going to want to continue to feel that because that energy will eat you alive. And if you really feel guilty, you will change that behavior so that you don't continue to feel that. But a narcissist doesn't do that because they're not feeling guilt. They'll change it to mask it, just like they'll mask, emotion by, practicing in the mirror or, faking that kind of thing. So it's a lot of, masking, a lot of for show.
This is really, even in this moment, I don't want to believe.
I know. It's hard. It's very hard. I didn't want to either. Look, especially when you're dealing with parent and narcissism, there's a lot of things that because you have that childhood mentality that you, at least I want to speak on my own. Okay. I don't want to say you. Sure. But in general, because I'm also a fucking textbook, I'm not special. Okay. So, you want that. You want them to still be the parent that you wanted when you were a kid. You want that so bad. And there is a bridge that you'll have to get to realize that they are human. You can idealize everything you want in your mind, but they are human. They were working with what they had. Now, having said that, that's not the excuse for narcissists to do what they want. Because again, it comes into play. You can change no matter how old you are. You can change. You can make a decision the next day to be different. Everyone has that opportunity. Everyone. I don't give anyone a pass. I don't give a shit if you're 99 years old. If you're a motherfucker, you're a motherfucker.
It's 99 years a motherfucker.
Me. You also don't get a pass from me if you died. Mm-hmm. You don't get a pass from me. I'm sorry that you don't. Now, I'm not saying that.
I feel that. No, I feel that because please continue.
No. I'm just saying, look, I know, hey, it's not nice to speak ill of the dead and that kind of thing. And, God wants everyone to have kindness in their heart. I can be kind, but I can be honest.
Yeah.
I can be honest.
Yeah. It's a funny thing. There are certain things that end up being subtle censorship moments, right? Oh, because it's this person relationship to you, therefore this is acceptable, or you should excuse it, or forgiveness means that they don't have to take accountability, but you could get over it.
Or you create a story in your head that there's still
a possibility, and thanks. I heard you. Thanks.
But again, this is also if she is a true narcissist.
Okay. So devil's advocate. Not a narcissist. It just means that you are so prideful that you can't accept.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what, that's worse because then when you're not doing better, then that's not okay. That's even worse. I'm telling you, because a narcissist, there's neuroplasty. Is that right? There's things going on that you're going to need to either chemically or electrically change in order for them to get their brain right because they're dumb. I'm trying not to let us leave everything. Sorry for my mouth. Okay. Anyway, but unless that's going to happen, you know what I mean?
Okay. I'm with it. This is the struggle of my heart. I heard another message on another beautiful influencer said it's like they treat you like a child because you have a childlike spirit, not because, and it's not because you have a childlike mind. So they sense this childlike spirit and they're trying to treat your mind as if it's the spirit.
Yeah.
And I do have that. First of all, I was the youngest. Already a notch, right? But I kept my childlike spirit and I'm like the artsy, so it's like, oh, look, you're not, things like that can easily not be taken seriously.
Absolutely.
And especially if there's familiarity in your family and dynamics and all that stuff, right?
And I think, we tend to use that, especially when we're younger, as a form of escapism. It's our form of escape. You know what I mean? In order to get out of whatever that situation.
You mean creating that story?
Creating that that artistic flow or that space
for sure.
Of escape. Do you know what I mean? And so I find that a lot of people, when they had heavy narcissism in the family, tend to escape somehow into something. Some people do it in a very unhealthy way. You know what I mean? And some people use it in their art, use it in their, in some fashion.
Yeah. And if you have a balanced lifestyle, you can do both.
You can. Yeah, you can. Or hopefully. And also Sorry, I didn't mean to. That's actually no. That's not right.
Do not take me
No.
seriously on that one. But
But
I
yeah,
get you.
but
I
you know
get
what I'm
you.
saying?
Yeah.
Like you can have that balance in your life with that, but it's also about building those bridges and
Yeah.
about truly understanding the reality of it. But that comes with, again, time and, you know, not
And
every,
distance.
and some distance. Yeah, that gray rock theory is very real.
I have a phrase of yours in my head every now and again when I have to get a reminder. Excuse me, when I have to get a reminder. Oh, it's worth your water.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, when I have to agape love.
Agape love.
Agape love. Yeah. So explain to us what's your definition of agape love,
So
or how does it show up in your life? Or
so I got this from this amazing and beautiful God-fearing woman, Denise, and she taught me so much. I have so much to learn still, but she's the one that taught me this agape love. So agape love is that you can love someone from a distance. It's loving someone fully and truly, not losing your identity and who you are and your soul and spirit, not losing that to evil, meaning don't let yourself go to a way of evil and upset and anger and that negative energy and that negative space, you know. And in order to do that, it's about letting go of a lot of things and saying, like, I'm protecting myself and I have boundaries and I can love you from here. You don't get to invade my space. You don't get to invade my soul that way, but I can still honor myself and honor who I am as, for me, a child of God, and love you from a distance.
Yeah.
You don't get to.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you have access.
No.
And
Exactly.
doesn't mean that things are going to be the same.
Exactly. It's basically, I'm setting boundaries. I'm setting rules for myself based on the fact that I am loved by God and he doesn't want that for me. So you don't get to do that.
Yeah. You know what it is for me? I think I figured it out. So it's you say I'm so a Leo. I am. It's like, when does a Leo forgive someone?
Oh.
That's a trick question. They're like, I don't know. When does the Leo turn into a Virgo? But on that, it's because of that little joke that I laugh at myself on, that I know once I'm like done with something, my heart's completely removed because I have to protect it. Cause if my intellect can see that it's going to happen and I go through the pattern again, I'm like 1 + 1 is still 2, Denison. Like, you know, so I'm going to be so mad at myself for someone else who did something probably even worse.
Yeah.
Because I should have known better. Like, and then you get into your own head about beating yourself up. Like, that's not good either. Right. Exactly. But you see, like, but then you can either swing back and forth between those extremes, or you have to like cut off. You're like, listen, I can't afford the swing. I have to stay away. You know, like I have to use that distance. How do I love you and honor the family title, the amount of time I've known you, the amount of time I don't know, there's so many different dynamics of power over and all that. How do I honor that by saying, I love myself too, though. And I have to take care of myself because this is the only person that can do that the best.
Yeah. God gave you this amazing gift,
You know?
this amazing gift that you have. You have all of that, you know, and why would you let that amazing gift let somebody just shit all over just constantly your whole life?
Yeah.
Till when? Till when? You know.
Till they go away. And then what are you left with? You know, having to pick up pieces.
And I feel like that's sometimes I've watched that happen. I've watched people, I've seen, oh man, I'm about to tell a story. And I'm not mentioning names here, but I know someone whose parent passed and they were also they weren't great to their son. It was a woman that wasn't great to her son and his whole life. And he never got that. She was selfish and the father she was very domineering. And so he was weak that way, you know, and didn't actually teach his son how to honor himself as a man in a relationship. And when you're not able to do that, you'll make a lot of bad decisions that are probably going to come off as you're being a real dick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so not understanding that this is also coming from a very deep wound, and then to come from a woman. It was coming from another woman. You know what I mean? Mother on top of all of that. So anyway, this woman on her deathbed apologizes to her son. He's so kind. Okay. I'm going to start crying, but he's so kind that he took it as a blessing, and thank God, because truly, and I believe that it is, because you make decisions even up until your last breath. But I must say that also seems to me, it's a very cowardly thing to do, because the work wasn't really put in order to make that child understand the changes.
Yeah.
To let them feel that and go through all of that, to make the real change in them, to then have them change their life.
Yeah. Because the time is not.
Because it's gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. You selfish.
Oh, that
Anyway.
is, I get that.
And so I feel that I really think that had it been done earlier, right? Like that would be wonderful, but it wasn't. And thank God that this person has taken it as a blessing that at least it happened then. But I also know that certain changes haven't been made for them to make those real changes in their life. So did that really do anything?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I take because the worst thing, the narcissists I've dealt with in my life, and I'm sure all of them do the same. It's like an apology is a means to do something. It is a tool by which you can get a reaction that you've already calculated and that you've already thought about, right? Like,
did it make her feel better before she died? Did she do it so that because she was dying?
Right?
Because she didn't have the gumption to do it when she was alive, every day, seeing her son, and had the chance to do that. She waited till right before her last breath.
Yeah.
Really?
It is really extreme timing. I'll say that. I can't.
And then what? He gets to then deal with all of it on his own.
Yeah.
And good luck to you. Do you know what I mean? You have to deal with it. And you have to get over it now. You don't have a choice because she's gone. You don't get a chance to talk about it
by yourself.
Yeah. So anyway.
And so there's no co-healing, right? Because it's funny. Like it is going back to that moment, right? And I wonder if you felt the same way that I'm still struggling past, right? Like is this narcissism, or is this just, you have to just admit it, right? Like you're the son to the mother thing. Like, yeah, it's your first love, man. It's your mom's, right? like you'll hide the body for her. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I gotta say, the son's dynamic with the mother, it is different than the daughter's dynamic with the mother.
Yeah.
Or the father, and vice versa, right? Yeah. So when we talk about these things, so I had a narcissistic father, and then a very, very selfish mother, and there was a bit of, I would say, covert narcissism in my stepmother.
Mm-hmm.
So then I ended up with a narcissist and the covert narcissist in the house then. So I dealt with a lot of that in those dynamics. However, I'm female. And so I didn't deal with it as a male to a mother. And when you're trying to be a leader, okay, a leader, a true masculine leader in the world, as a man, this is what you're supposed to do, right? The protector, the leader, you're doing those. And these are solid characters that you need as a man. And you get a lot of those from your father, but then if he's mild, right? And compared to the dynamics of his wife, and you're seeing that. And then also she's overbearing to the man that you're seeing as your role model, and then to you on top of it all.
Yeah.
How do you then deal with women without being skeptical? Okay.
Yeah.
That they're going to be that way. Or manipulate situations so that doesn't happen, because that's what you're used to.
Yeah. I've seen the two extremes. I've seen that create the exact man that every woman does not want. While the mantra of the person who's raising that man is, because I'm trying to make you a better man. So in this boy's head, he's trying to learn how to be a better man through a female lens who's telling him everything that's wrong, which is actually a control thing, because it's not how to be a better man. It's how to be the man I need you to be the boy, I need you to be in man form so you can do the things I need you to do with your limbs. Like, do the thing. No points. Like, I need you to be the puppet. Do the thing. Right. So it's an interesting thing. It becomes like you want to be in service because, of course, yeah. You know how I mean, it's, I'm taller. It makes you feel good. You're the boy. I remember this is the coolest thing. A mother online, a little 4-year-old says to him, he's like, "Hey, can you help mommy find this thing? Like, mommy needs some help." He's like, "Mommy need help," and he takes her hand and he walks her to find the thing. She did not need to do it, but like, it's in our like DNA. That's mom's, yes, like like so it's already there. So that it's like a mini betrayals that compound and then become normalized, and then if you're in the right situation, that's how you create relationships. That's how you expect relationships to be.
Mm-hmm.
And you fall into a role that you were never meant to be in.
So, out of curiosity, then did you start choosing women that were similar to your mother, or did you then create a situation that would have been similar to those dynamics? Again, because you're familiar with that, and that's the norm that we do that. I know
I yes, sometimes, but it actually showed up more in work dynamics in my world. And I didn't realize, actually, to be honest, I didn't realize the relationship things until way later. If I trace it back, I could be like, okay, yeah. A good amount of those times, yes. But I don't think I would choose those women. I think that I would just be, I'd be chosen by them. Right? Like they're like, oh, it's because narcissists could see the weakness. They could sense it. They could sense that like, look him. He's a giving, kind-hearted, like artsy person. I could totally ruin his life. it's like, I wonder what his blood tastes like. Like, So looking back, certain people, the worst narcissists, I'll say it this way, the worst narcissists in my life have sought me and had a really, really good veil, a good, shell. And because I didn't have the tools that I have now to see through it, I had my gut and I stopped ignoring my gut. And when that happened, they started not liking me because I started standing up for myself. I started changing up the way I accepted things in relationships. I started pushing back. And that's when the beefs happened. That's when it got worse and worse. And then thankfully, God knows what he's doing with me. He made this little part of me that just knows when injustice is injustice. And it doesn't matter who you are, how you are, it's gonna come out.
Yeah.
And I black out in those moments. And I know that it's the truth that comes out because I don't attack. I say it what it is because usually it's been like, I've been, like putting the dots together. It was like, it's like one day you're gonna hear the truth from me if you keep provoking me. Like that's usually what happens. So to answer your question, I think I just ended up that I was over time ended up in narcissistic situations that I didn't realize because I had so many blind spots because it was so normalized in my life from all these different angles.
Yeah. Yeah.
What about you?
Well, I'm curious. What
do you think, Jess?
I mean, I'm get to that. So I am curious then. So once you started realizing it, you said you flipped the switch off so that you stopped kind of recognizing certain patterns that were poor behavior. But how does that show up with females to a male?
How does
that look? Yeah. How does that look?
In relationship dynamics, let's see. In relationship dynamics, it looks like when you don't have the money to do something, and she asks for it anyway, and gets mad that you couldn't do it, but knew that you didn't have the money the whole time. I'm thinking about like a college example. Like I was walking down the road with one of my girlfriends at the time. She was like, "Hey, baby, can you buy this?" I was like, "Man, I don't have any money right now." Like I thought we were just hanging out. I had money for a thing that we're doing. But she was used to getting everything from her daddy, and her father provided all the things, and she was a princess in that way, which is actually completely fine to me, to be honest, because I feel that that's another man thing. It's like if you could do that with your daughter, you're going to do it. But you might create a monster. You might create a woman who expects that, a man's role in your life is to just be a financial thing. If you can't do the financial thing, you're not worth it. Therefore, this is how you treat him in order to make him better. So, like,
okay, so this is where
that's that thing.
So expectations are one thing, but how did she treat you?
How did she treat me?
When she, like, because you're in college, first of all.
Yeah.
Whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of a simple example.
No, exactly. However, it is a good example of the narcissism would come out in manipulation, right?
Yes.
So what were the manipulation type things that would happen? I'm just curious from a female to a man. Like, I know how it was done from men to women.
Okay.
So I'm curious if there's similarities.
It's the love bombing thing, but it's like love bombing plus sexuality thing, right? Like, that was her tool, right?
Yeah.
So it's like,
so is sex usually used as the tool?
Often,
Is it? I imagine that it is.
Yeah. It's what sex is weaponized. Sex is
weaponized with
narcissistic women.
Yes. Okay.
I mean, sex is weaponized.
It is
with narcissistic people.
Yes, because it has been done. With men
for sure.
Absolutely.
I just don't know what I've been. I haven't been
not very often. I gotta say,
okay.
Not very often, because I don't think men can get away with it.
No, they'll just go sexless, and the women can.
Yeah, exactly. And they're not going sexless. Yeah. They're fucking somebody else.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
Yeah, that's not a thing. Yeah.
So, how does that look in male or female to male relationships? Because, like I said, I know what it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. You know what it is? It's like you become a thing that does a function, but you get rewarded for it only when you do the function. So you get sex when you pay for this thing for me to the degree that I'm satisfied with. Like,
so there's no real intimacy then.
Yeah.
Like that emotion and that deep connection is not there.
With
a narcissist, you can't because
it's gate capped. It's like
well, it's not even there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like they keep it surface level because they know that there's nothing underneath.
Well, okay.
They're so fucked up underneath that they don't want you to get into that space. And so they'll keep you always at that surface.
I will say though, there is a good distinction. There's like narcissistic people and there's narcissists, I guess. Right? Because like, I don't even know how to say
like narcissistic tendencies?
Yeah, like you have the tendency because like that's the way you understood how to grow. Like I think there's some people that are not narcissists that end up acting so.
Yeah.
Because that's how they had to survive.
Yes. Manipulation.
Yeah.
They're very
Yeah. And I think, to be honest, I've fallen for those types most because I don't think they were like narcissists all the way, no feeling, because that's not like I would
so
go
more selfish broads.
It's more selfish broads. Yeah, but what happens is like if you do have like a lot of narcissism in the household, like I said, that becomes normal. So like even when they don't do it as much, like if you have the tendency, it's like, oh, that's just normal stuff.
Well, like, now I have a real question.
Oh, what's up? Oh no.
So. So do you think that this is a trend that most women have in general? Like the varying degrees of narcissism and just to selfish and just most are in that range. Like, do you think a thing? And I'm so putting you on the line because
I know you are.
As a woman, I'm going to say before you get canceled. Bye,
everybody.
that I'm going to say right now, I say yes, and I have many, many reasons for that, but that's what I'll say. And I'll go ahead and take it.
I'm with it. So, here's the thing. It's everyone had let's say there's a masculine archetype and there's a female archetype. I think the female archetype, when it comes to the shadow, when they're in their shadow, it's very narcissistic, selfish, and very fearful, and when you're in that state, because you are not physically stronger than a man, you're going to use words to affect their mind. So you're seeing this in the zeitgeist, right? Like you're seeing like men ain't shit type talk. And it's like, well, that's like a narcissistic tendency that's sweeping over many female. And because females think more in groupthink, it's like creating a narcissistic veil over even some good people. Like like
it's a web.
yeah.
It's a web that it's crept into our world.
There's a girl that I stopped dating, and she doesn't know I stopped dating her because her friends were the kind of women I didn't want to date.
Mm-hmm.
And she was hanging out with them all the time. And I started hearing the words that their friends would say come out in conversations with us that were never like that. And it was especially interesting that this came out when one friend that was a stay-at-home mom that didn't know how to cook and didn't clean and had a husband that was working in the kitchen. So he was doing hours and providing and paying for everything. So I'm like, yo, like, are you like, so she's out of the house. She leaves the house because all this stuff for man, but who knows? He could have been the best person in the world, the worst person in the world. I don't know. What I know is that if a man is working chef hours, he's working like 300 hours a day. Right. And I just know.
I'm also going to say as an ex-chef,
he was probably an asshole. I know. Yeah, always that what you're going to say?
You're a shady dude.
You're a shady dude?
Come on, man. We know. And if any chef wants to be honest, they know that rate of divorce is so real because those hours, the lifestyle, just the way you're living, you do find a lot of selfish people as chefs. Sure. Like there's a lot of things.
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
The narcissism, we can even talk about narcissism in just male chefs alone. And that's a whole episode. But I hear you. But just off of theory, I don't know anything. What I know is that the relationship that we had changed when that girl came closer into her proximity.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Like her relationship had problems, and all of a sudden, those reflections started seeping in,
and they do,
and it's like,
and they do because and they do, and that's why and you're right. Whenever a woman does need to understand that and a man the same way, to be honest, but I'm just speaking as a woman. Yes, you need to be careful about the company that you keep.
So you want to be single, stay around your single friends.
Yeah. Yes. So, or women that just want to club it up or blow in the bathroom, and hey, it's just on the weekends. No, honey.
Yeah.
No, honey.
That's funny. It's like I'm not even that judgmental, though.
Taking you seriously. I'm sorry, but if a man is taking a woman seriously as a partner in life and she's hanging out at the Soho house doing blow in the bathroom just on the weekends, really?
Yeah.
You want to raise a family with someone like that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that really where And yes, I get it. Look, and again, if you're single and that's what you want to do for you in your life, whatever, but you cannot complain about being a single woman and how many if your cohorts,
things that
and you may not be doing this, but if all your friends are, it's going to look like you are as well. Or at least you're okay with that. You're absolutely fine with that. Yeah. So your morals are there too. Yeah. Your standards are there. Yeah. And you have to think about that as well.
And if you meet a man like me, who's had enough to know the pattern, like I can look at your friends and tell you the kind of wife you're going to be. Yeah. I can, or I at least could tell you that if you don't separate from those friends, that eventually I'm going to have to deal with them in some sort of way, whether it's through your mouth or theirs.
Yes.
Because I'm not I actually did. You'd be proud of me on this one. I remember actually saying this, like, you know what? I'm going to be real with you. Girl that I'm talking to right now that I almost dropped her name, but like, girl I'm talking is like, yo, like, I'll be real. Our relationship is cool. I call you every day. We talk, we chill. We were watching movies and everything like that. And all of a sudden, so-and-so's up in your space and all this stuff. I'm telling you straight up, like, I don't like when other people are in our relationship. I get it. She's going through her stuff and everything like that. But guess what? I'm Dennison, not some average dude who's da-da-da-da. You know exactly who I am. Mm. So the fact that you're changing up on me because your girl made a bad choice about a man, that's crazy. So it already started, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, well, now you're a liability. You have friends that are a liability to your relationship. You have friends that are a liability to like good men because, or a liability to you having a good man. Because like I said, a man like me is going to be like, it's just too risky.
Yeah, it is. Exactly. Because as a man, you're taking on responsibilities, And so going back to what we were talking about, having a narcissistic parent and then being a certain way in relationships and wanting to be there, right? Because it's in your nature to want to be there for your mother, support and those things. But then if you're choosing women who have those selfish tendencies, your natural behavior is just to keep doing. But then as you get older, and if you're changing at all, you stop the relationship, you recognize them as they're happening and stop it, or before it happens, which is the best, right?
Yeah.
Recognize those people and keep them away from you in relationships, all relationships, work, romantic, right? Just everything.
Because it's the same pattern, and whether it's an actual narcissist or a person who displays a lot of narcissist tendencies, it's still the same result. Like it's about the effect at the end of the day. So yeah, it's I mean. You got just like you have to thank your exes, right? You have to thank the haters. You have to thank the people that are their opposite because like they'll tell you what you really do want. It's just really
they'll show you the things that you need to improve upon.
Yeah, they'll do that too. Yeah,
you know what I mean. I love them. Absolutely. I love every single one of those jackasses that I dated. Yeah. I do because my goodness, it's none of growth.
Wait, so I want to know the same question. So what does it look like in the relationship dynamic when you have male narcissism to that degree? Like what is it?
Which end? So I'm going to start off with saying, so we get a little background story, is that my father was a psychopathic narcissist. So when I say that, I mean it in the literal sense. Yeah. So he is retired military. And so when I say killer psychopathic, I mean it. I'm not joking and not playing around. Term. It's a literal term. Because it's legal when you're doing it that way. You can legally go and kill people. You're not a serial killer. Yeah. When you're getting paid by the government to do it. And exactly, you're getting all kinds of ribbons and badges whenever, you're doing that. Yeah. So anyway, he was promoted and happily promoted doing that and behaving that way. So that was my baseline. Okay. All right. Yeah. So anything, it was free for all, right?
Yeah.
Like anything. But however, having said that, the amount of manipulation, the amount of mental, physical manipulation that was done from get-go at childbirth, it trains you to think, right, that certain behaviors are normal. And so I would only choose narcissists. I had a habit of only choosing narcissists because, first of all, I was such a codependent that, and I call myself like, I'm still in recovery and I think I'll forever be in recovery. I'm constantly, working on this because it is a thing that's driven into you. But anyway, so a bit of that, I would find covert narcissists that, very, very, very kind on the outside, seemingly, right? Extremely nice. Mm-hmm. But the manipulation was using that as they feel sorry for me. And that was one of the last ones that I dealt with.
Yeah. So what do they want you to feel sorry about?
Oh, everything. Why he couldn't make money. You know what I mean? Why he couldn't, right? So it was that. It was the feel. So I would feel bad. And I would fork over the money. Right?
Ooh, hey gentlemen, just so you know, that's a play. That's all you gotta do is make them feel bad about money and not make your own because you're
against weak women. Because I would say that I definitely was very, very weak and very codependent. So that was one way for that covert narcissist to get what he wanted. Okay. And then whenever when we were no longer together and I wasn't even in town, I came back to town and I found out that they would then tell all of my friends, feel sorry for me because look, after she left, I'm in the shitter now. I'm so blah, 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 right? Not thinking like, I came back to town.
No wonder why you hate weak men. I see it. That's like, that annoyed me to my core.
So I come back to town and I have my friends say, hey, this was being said about you by this guy. We thought it was kind of strange, and then once I found that one out, I started asking others. They were like, yeah, he did. Yeah. So I confronted him. directly, because that was the last narcissist. And I had a tendency very early on to let shit happen to me.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I would feel sorry for myself. You know what I mean? I went through all that
It's like,
until I got to the point that was like, no, we don't do that anymore. As a matter of fact, we go and make it right.
right. Mm-hmm.
So I took him out to lunch and we sat down and I was very, very kind. And then I asked him, I'm just curious. I've heard this from these people and I brought their names out. Everyone was coming out. We're at an honesty day with Shelley. So all these people said this, and I want to know why you felt it necessary, first of all, to say anything like that. And secondly, did you think I wasn't going to find out? Did you think I wasn't going to come back to town? And also, do you not know me to think that I wasn't going to confront you?
It's like, Ed, have you met me?
Yeah. And I got the apology, and I told him, I forgive you. I'm not forgetting. Yeah. I forgive you. We can be cool because I'm a big person like that.
Yeah.
But don't think that I am forgetting this, because I know that you're a covert narcissist.
Right. We're using that. Yeah. And what's the funny thing about that forgiveness thing? I wanted to double back on that one. Like your story earlier, like love is an action, love is a verb. Apologies are a verb, but both of those things are like, there's a time scale to that.
Yeah.
And I could imagine forgiveness, is like this algorithm, right? Of an initial moment, right? You could start with the admission of the moment. Okay, let's say like even if it was a shallow sorry, if you did actually change your action over time because you did realize it, then I could begin. My heart's really hardened because of this stuff. Like your hatred of weak men is like probably my hatred of just like deception, where it's like, if you play in my face one time and try to trick me and tell me how dumb I am while you're playing in my face, like I can't see you, like it's like you're insulting my intelligence, you're insulting my spirit, you're going against everything that has made me a carbon being on this earth.
Yeah, exactly.
I really take it as a fundamental offense, and I try not to, because it's actually not even personal, right? It's like you'll do this with anybody. It has nothing to do with me, but it's like that's just how I take it, because it makes me want to establish that boundary, because again, I don't want to go into that swing back and forth of if again, as soon as you defend something, it becomes more true in the eyes of other people. Like, it's like so as soon as they say something, so Shelley said this, it creates this narrative that if you speak against, you are defending, therefore you are speaking it into existence almost. Therefore they can now cycle that.
Yes.
So it's like
to the people that are weak-minded, to the people that are weak of spirit, because those that aren't my real friends that thought this is unusual, told me one specifically, and then I dropped the bomb on everybody. That's that.
Yeah, big ups to the real friends on that. What's funny? What happened one time? One of my exes, we had a nasty breakup. This was actually when I was in St. John.
Mm-hmm.
Remember this mosquito net thing? I was talking about this. She was talking. That was another thing that what narcissists would do, because if you're actually a truthful, honest person who didn't do anything really wrong, they would need for a story out there in other people's words to come around you and try and triangulate you with a story that's not true.
Yeah.
So she's in the stateside and I'm in St. John, and she's calling people in St. John. Now, this is a small town, right? And everybody knows me. I'm like sleeping in mosquito nets and teaching kindergarten kids. like literally, like I'm there because I'm teaching music by myself, single, essentially,
right?
Because 3,000 miles away is a woman who calls me her fiance, and whatever. So she calls all my friends, and one time one of my friends pulls me to the side. He's like, "Hey, so and so has been doing it." He told me the whole thing, and then I was like, "Okay, this is an interesting social experiment. Let's see what happens if I say nothing and let everybody just hear what they gotta hear." And you know what happened? The people, that one friend, I had a couple more people that say, "Hey, Dennison, this is weird. Hey, Dennison, this is weird. Hey, Dennison, this is weird." And the only people that actually took on the story were people I never wanted to mess with in the first place. Thank you.
Exactly.
You got rid of those people in my life, and I was like, oh, you just did the work for me.
Yes. And it's a blessing. That's why I say, honestly, every single one of them, they taught me something amazing. Amazing, right?
Never happen again.
Exactly. Exactly. And it also cleared a lot of time for you that you could have wasted, right? Like there's a lot of blessings that came with that, for sure. With every bad relationship, there is always a blessing. There is.
Yeah.
Always.
I gotta say though, the damage was real though on that one. Like,
Sure.
looking back, I would want to say that I would want to say that I'm healed from that moment, right? And I do believe that I have learned from it. I want to say that one is actually more accurate. I've learned from that to the point where that lesson is embedded.
Mm.
But on the other side of that, there was so much pain, like of just being by yourself. Because you know what the narcissist really needs you to be is alone.
Alone. Yeah. Because you
Can you imagine being alone and next to somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine being like? Can you imagine being alone and surrounded by people that say they love you with those words, I love you, and you never feel it? Like you're like, talk about being on an island. I was on a mental island in the middle of a small island for 4 years because of that relationship and because of my decisions of letting someone into my life. Because I'm going to say this is my fault and my responsibility.
Well, you take the responsibility
to the degree that I can. I'm not trying to put this outward, but it's just a pattern. Like, and then I just know that I had to really talk to myself. Like I had to really weigh out my life. I was sitting there thinking I was a bad person for deciding to stay in a hurricane disaster zone to teach children that lost their homes and are literally living in a poverty state before that, and now even worse after.
Yeah.
There's like 10 teachers on the whole island. I stay and I'm the bad person. Well, you're like, this is the person that you're marrying. The person that would do that. Apparently I'm awful because I don't want to fly to New York and be in comfort and have hot showers while I'm an able-bodied man that can help. That's what I was trying to explain. It doesn't matter, right?
Right.
But it's just like crazy. Like you can make someone feel bad for doing that and like actually have them questioning themselves in their head.
Mm-hmm. And then you start, and especially like you said, if you're alone, that state of isolation, keeping you as isolated as possible is very real.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
And the attempt to call everybody, right, was an attempt to get me further alone. Oh, see, he is a bad person.
So that you do not have support at all, you know, so that you feel a certain way.
I gotta say, like my buddy Matt, I'll say his name because he took me right out of it. He was like, "Yo,
that's amazing."
He was like, "Yo, you, oh yeah, of course, right." Listen,
and his wife were absolutely fantastic.
He was like, "Bro, I know what you're doing. I see what you're doing every day. F that." And I was like,
"He's a real one." I gotta say, he doesn't.
Tingles and I had to take a walk to the beach, and I was, you know, because
yeah. But like you said, it takes a while to get over that. If you think about it, 4 years of isolation, something like that, like how long does that actually take to truly get over? And probably still working through things, right? Like I feel like I said.
How long does it take? Okay, I'll tell you the formula. It takes 1, 2, 3 good friends that'll tell you that you're actually a good person. I see you every day. It tells you it takes 97 children times 3 years. Actually, no, it's the same 97 children because I was teaching all of them. It takes about 100 to 120 students that have actually learned music from you and actually smile when they see you and actually know your heart more than anybody else in the world. It takes people seeing you. And if they were 5 years old that can't speak a whole sentence, it didn't even matter because that was more true than anything else.
That's
those that saved me. I'm about to break down too. Those could save me.
I think to them, you know, I think it's interesting how that innocent energy can heal such pain and historical pain for you.
Yeah.
You know? So.
Yeah, big ups to St. John, man. Like it was one of the best things that ever happened to me, and it was the worst experience of my life. At the same time, like, but I was like, wow, you know, that's that kind of shapes you for real. I was sitting there, I was like, mosquito net blanket or unhappy wife and an unhappy life. Shit, give me 10 more mosquitoes.
Bring on the mosquitoes. I'm used.
I like a malaria cocktail, please.
I love that when you said that the other day. Bring on the mosquitoes.
I brought this story up a lot too because we were watching it earlier and I was like, I didn't dig in too much because I was still afraid to get into it.
Yeah.
Like, because I knew that was going to happen. I was going to be like, damn. But like music teaching for me was that serious. It was that serious because all of them needed that distraction. I needed that. I was like, get me back to work. like, get me out of this, man. I haven't had a glass of ice water in a while, but you know what I'm going to do tomorrow? Dancing around like a good old time, but yeah, so it takes people seeing me because if, and I hope that you're blessed to see that someone sees you, right? Or meet that person that sees you, because if you're not, you'll stay in isolation forever. And then all the narcissists will find you because they'll tap into your light and see that you're clouded. And then they'll just keep picking at it. And, it just becomes a thing until some other soul says, see.
It was those kids. That's just so beautiful. That's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. What a time.
What a time.
Well, I do think that it's interesting that we started with talking about narcissists from when we were children, and then you've got innocent children that heal you from that type of thing. It's really...
I like that circle. Thanks for connecting that. That was cool.
It's really beautiful. It is, It's healing the little Dennison, and
Yeah.
there's kids that are connecting with that child, with that in you.
Yeah.
And
what's cool, like really cool. I got to be the music teacher that I always wanted for every grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was totally a 5-year-old. You couldn't tell me nothing. My kindergartners were the best. I was like, this is the greatest. I don't have to say anything. We could just make music and just run things. So it was a beautiful thing because it kind of helped me go back through years of my life and see myself in each of those places and do a little reflection. I was like, how'd I get here from here? Like, oh wow, a lot of cool. I mean,
that island did a lot of healing, huh?
Yeah,
it really did. And that hurricane washed away a lot of things that needed to be washed away.
Yeah. I exposed a lot and everything like that, and made some friends forever connections, and it's what a thing. What a thing. If any, and if you go there now, it's not the same. Yet when you find those people that were there, like the ones that we know, it is. Right. Like that little pocket still there. So that's a beautiful.
Because really that was that. It was them. It was the people that they had there. You know what I mean? It was that was a soul. The island has a soul. Of course it does. It has an energy on its own, but it's fed by those people. By you, by those people. It's fed by those things because that energy, you feel it. You feel the good and the bad. And you feel it when it's there. You know what I mean? So it's fed by that. So when that hurricane washed a lot of bad things away, that purity was still left there. So you were able to heal. You were able.
In fact, more of it was there too, because like it was way more raw. Signal.
Raw.
Yeah,
for sure.
Like, can you imagine? Like I said, bologna sandwiches, warm Bud Lights, and hard work, and we were really happy.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. We didn't have refrigeration. How did you get bologna?
Oh, I mean, it was basically an MRE. The
MREs, yeah.
Or like
dehydrated everything.
It was by the time they kind of had some stuff going on, or it was the stuff that the stores could stay and keep and like we
because that stuff will last forever. Right? It's got enough preservatives.
Enough still meat. Exactly. People like, this is not healthy, but this is calories.
It will sustain you. Yeah, exactly. But anyway.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing. So I saw that thing about narcissism. I was like, man, like the whole theme is like, how do you find the pattern and how do you fortify yourself? So for me, it was figuring out the things that mattered. Like if everything went away, that also, I should say it differently. I didn't figure out nothing. It was forced upon me to figure out what happens when nothing is, like, none of your conveniences are surrounding you and you are actually sitting there facing yourself. And like what kind of person are you? Like, and if you have an opportunity, like, to actually get away from that and really see yourself and sit and be,
it was forced meditation.
It's just, it forces you to, force moving meditation. it forces you to really like simplify and see what actually mattered. I'm like, oh, like the things that you care about that you say you're judging me on because this is how your vision of how this relationship goes that never included me ever. Like I'm seeing that this is all projection illusion. And to be honest, I care about the next glass of water more than I care about any of the drama outside of this place.
Yeah.
We're still looking for Sid. She's missing. Remember that?
Yeah.
We were still looking for missing people and like there people complaining about. Yeah. I'm like your problems are not problems. Like my problems are not problems, and I'm in the middle of this stuff. There are people that we don't even know where they are.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want perspective? There you go.
Exactly. Exactly.
So so at that moment, it was the first moment that I realized that there is a specific type of woman, and maybe I shouldn't even say type of. There's a specific woman that can see my heart that actually deserves to be that close to my presence, because if you can't see that, then please stay away from me. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So hopefully, and men's coaching. I do think
that's so necessary.
you need a men's coach. Like men don't need therapists.
No,
it's a hot take.
There's a lot.
Get me canceled for that. Men need Michael Sartain, my men's coach. They need him to just take action. We need things to do. We need purpose, and we need to feel like we're connected.
Yeah,
and we do want to be useful. We don't want to be used.
Right.
Like we love being useful. We don't.
Exactly.
So that's.
Do you find that there are a lot of resources out there for men like that? Groups for men?
They're coming up. The red pill rage thing made us, that's the swing of the pendulum all the way to the side. In the middle, there's some great coaches, right? There's the female coaches that understand that like the dynamics are really skewed towards like, more feminine ways, right? In therapy, and or female therapists that do. And there are men's coaches that are being way more practical about what men need to do. Like, and honestly, sometimes it's as simple as go work out, get consistent, make your life better. Like, all that stuff. But without attaching it to because you're trying to get a girl, because
right.
You're doing this for like it's literally to build
a better man,
and everything else because of that is going to come to you.
To that. Exactly. Not
because that's
the goal is this. It is the goal is to fulfill yourself, for you to be the best, so that then those things come to you.
Yeah. Sure. So I don't think it's the same as like having a women's coach. What do you think the inverse of that? What's your suggestion?
For women?
Yeah. Oh, that's too.
I don't know about there. I'll say that I think therapy has turned into a big corporate scheme to keep women upset and going to therapy or running from it so that they continue to make bad decisions and feed the money monster that is the consumerism that feeds off of them making bad decisions.
Yeah.
So
there's one more, the therapy that enables people to act like now that I've gone to therapy, I'm better than you.
Oh,
there's that one too. Don't forget.
I didn't think about that. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
My ex was going to therapy all the while.
Oh,
the ex that lives in St. John, that one.
Yeah,
therapy every week.
Yeah, I mean, therapy is great. I think it's important. I think it's incredibly important. But I definitely think that if you're getting something, it's not therapy to stay in therapy. There has to be an end date. Like, hey, we're doing this up until then because I'm going to give you the tools so that you don't need me anymore. Because yes, it's great to be able to talk to somebody about your issues, but if you're constantly repeating those same issues and there's no development, then there really is no reason to continue to talk to that person.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing anything but paying somebody to repeat your bullshit back to you.
Yeah. And it's very interesting. I remember actually being told to go to therapy, right? That's when you know it's really interesting. It's like, you gotta go to therapy. I was like, I won't never go to therapy. It's like, well, if you're not interested in making yourself better, it's like, I will happily get a men's coach. I'll happily make myself better. I'll happily always improve. I'll happily learn, happily do all the things I need to learn. I'm not going to therapy for someone to justify why your way of thinking should be why I should change my life. Because you're trying to make it seem like because I'm not mentally stable, therefore you're the work person that's supposed to lead my mind into how it's supposed to be thinking. No.
Was she wanted to go to couples therapy, or she was wanting you to go to someone to talk to.
It wasn't couples therapy. Yeah.
She wanted you to go.
I don't.
So
well, it wasn't
what's
specified. Actually, to be honest, it wasn't specified. I had an assumption. I rejected it at the first dimension, to be honest, because I knew what it was. It was a
well, there was
control-
also the control thing that you were.
yeah. That was a
Like, it
control
wasn't
tactic more than-
necessarily the idea of talking to somebody. It was the, like, why are you freaking trying to control
Can
me?
you? Okay.
Like, we
Who
have
do you
issues.
know? Who do you know in your world, right? Like you could walk up to who actually needs it. That you could say, "Go to therapy," and they're gonna pop up on a call. I have a therapist tomorrow.
Oh, nobody does that. Nobody does that.
That's a, something like you really do have to like you have to
Yeah.
you.
For sure. Exactly.
Otherwise,
But so was the men's coach acceptable to her? Was that?
Oh no. This is actually the beginning of my healing after
I
those
see.
4 years. Actually, that's a whole
I
other.
see.
We should dig into that one.
Yeah.
On another one, but that's how I have this strong of a mind. And that's why I'm not so scared about saying some things that I know now, because I know out in there's a manosphere Red Bull thing, and some people think that when I say whatever certain things that hold a boundary between feminine and masculine dynamics, that I'm being misogynist. And no, it's actually like I've been taught how it actually is.
Yeah.
And sometimes you tell me that.
Yeah.
That's how I'm like confirmation.
It is because, science is real. Nature is real. I really hate the fact that people have started to believe whatever the hell they want and make up their own terms for everything. And then
they wrap science around it.
And wrap science around it, and then tell everyone that they need to believe that because I feel this way.
Yeah.
Not because that's reality, but because I feel like this.
Yeah.
That's wild times to me.
Yeah.
Those are wild times to me.
So you're okay. So it's not therapy for it. What do you think it is?
I think that I will say what has helped me is growing closer to what I know is source, what I call God. People can call source. People can call the one energy. That connectedness that we all have, that being connected to each other, that feeling, that is what I call God. Okay. And we all get there in different ways, right? Different ways of our lives will transform this into that, right? So yeah, that has helped me.
So a pursuit of spirituality.
Pursuit of knowing that there is something greater than me, that I'm not in control of literally anything. So I don't need to worry anymore. All those fears that you go to therapy for, all those worries, all of that, there's a way to get to that path of release. And it took me a while, but there's tools that I used along the way to get to the next level.
Right.
There was always a level up.
Right.
Every single time I would speak with this person, it was a leveling up. It was never a wallowing in this so that next week or 1 month from now, I'm going to be talking about the same thing.
Right.
It has to be a leveling up. Thank God that she has patience. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't come easy. It's work, and it's hard work, and it should be if it's going to work.
Right.
It should not be easy. It doesn't come overnight, and it takes real work.
Wow. That'll be really amazing. Next time we talk, let's dig into one of those things that was like a complete like reversal in your brain. Like, cause I can think of it right now. It's literally a whole other conversation of like, what do you need to know from what do I wish my father told me when I was 16 that I heard when I was 35?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's one of those.
Yeah.
But I love this. I feel like, we have a lot now. It's like,
yeah. Because every single one of those things, they were lessons. It's like I said, I learned the agape love through that.
Agape love, and it's so much, so, I guess, what do you think? What should we wrap up with? Like, what does it feel like we went around? I don't know. Like,
gosh, I mean, narcissistic relationships and with parents,
You're not crazy. Actually, you know what? Honestly, I'll just say you're not crazy. Whoever, if any bit of this conversation resonated with anybody, because this is not a special situation, don't think that you're crazy. I know your situation is unique, but it's not like that unordinary.
Exactly. It's not okay. First of all, you have to accept that it wasn't okay.
Yeah.
And just accept that it wasn't okay. But that, you're not alone. You know what I mean? You're not alone no matter what. and that you are seen.
Yeah.
You are seen, just like those kids saw you.
Yeah.
That you are seen, like we see you, right?
Yeah. And I guess, and I guess there's two things. If you don't have those people that do see you, find yourself so you can see yourself. Because like that's another thing. I know it's like you don't have that opportunity,
and it starts there.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah. Great. This was great.
Awesome.